Welcome to My for Electrical Technology. Today I brought one of the interesting topic in power system, that is nothing but circuit breaker. As of everyone know, the circuit breaker will do two major duty. One is in normal condition, it will act like a switch, that is nothing but in open condition it will not allow to flow the current, in closed condition it will allow to flow the current. And second case, during the fault condition it will trip is nothing, it will open the circuit and it will isolate the faulty area. This is the circuit breaker. Today I will regarding circuit breaker, it testing and maintenance procedure I am going to discuss. Let's start. This is general arrangement of circuit breaker circuit. This is our circuit breaker. This is bus bar. This is outgoing feeder. Even it can be a incomer also. If there is any fault, the CT will sense the fault current and it will give to the protection relay. Protection relay will determine either the value is more than the set value. If there is more than set value, as per the protection settings, it will give command to trip the breaker. Once the breaker trip coil receives the command from the protection relay, it will trip the circuit breaker. This is for protection purpose. Same way, this circuit breaker also can be used as a close open by giving command, trip command by trip command for tripping, close command for closing. This is the general arrangement for tripping circuit. And here I have taken three different breakers. The first one is LT breaker. This is the LT breaker. The LT breaker consists different parts. This one is information label. All breaker will give the specification detail of that particular breaker. What is the manufacturer detail, in which year the breaker is manufactured, what is the current rating, what is the voltage rating, what is the timing. Those things details will available in the information label. Here I taken GACB 415 volts breaker, and this operating handle, the white one, this one used for spring charge operation purpose. And here we have manual operation purpose, on push button, off push button. This is indicator, on indicator. And here this one will give the information of position of the breakers, either it is in a test position, either it is in a service position. Those things will give. Here we are provided the padlocking purpose applications also. What is the purpose of padlocking is nothing but, if example, if I kept the breaker in test position, only authorized person only can do the operations. To make HSE precautions, we have given this this padlock system in new breakers. This is trip and local reset button. This is on push button. This is CB position indicator. This is spring charge status. If there is a white, discharged. If there is a red, it is charged. This is depend upon manufacturer to manufacturer. Someone will give the spring charger indicator. Either it will be extended mode or it is a compressive mode. And here the mechanical fault. If there is any white here, it will tell that is a fault. If there is a black, that is normal condition. In advanced ACB, there is a digital controlling unit also available. This one will be also, it is a inbuilt of protection elements, and it will give the readings and also overcurrent protection. These protections inbuilt available in the market. And here one more example I have taken. This is 33 kV breaker, ABB Turkey. This is total, actually this is the breaker main element, but this is total panel will consist of bus bar, CT, PT, everything. Here we can see the specification detail here. Who is the manufacturer, what is the current rating, what is the voltage level, those things. This red and green, this is push button for operation, either closing operation and opening operation. This is for spring charge purpose, and here this one is used for to take draw in or draw out, or otherwise rack in or rack out, for making the breaker in service position or test position. This is breaker trolley. When we are taking breaker outside, we can use this stand to hold the breaker. This is the general one of the breaker I have taken for explanation purpose. Let us see the cross sectional view of this breaker. And here this is the internal constructions. Number one, this is the breaker compartment where the breaker top limb and bottom limb will go and connect. And here, this is the main bus bar compartment. Either this as a work as a feeder or either as a work as a incomer. If it is a incomer, the current will flow incoming from this cable. This is the cable compartment where the cable will come and connect. And here we required CT and VT for measurement purpose. And this is the earthing switch. If example, if I want to take the shutdown for earthing purpose, here the provision is available. And this is the common bus bar which is interlinked between all the panel. Once this is, if example, this is the incomer, the main current will come from this one. Once breaker is closed, it will go to this common bus bar. Example, this is outgoing, the current available here. Once this breaker is closed, then the current will start flowing through this one and through this cable, and it will go to the load. And here this is the general arrangement. And even here we kept R-dest channel, free channel, when there is a R to and here there is a LV compartment. LV compartment will consist of LV circuit. Either there are closing circuit, there are tripping circuit, even the status of the breaker, status of the this isolator or earth switch, and this current circuit, voltage circuit, secondary, all wiring will available in this LV compartment. The same way I have taken one more circuit breaker. This is SF6 outdoor 66 kV circuit breaker. And here this is the top limb, bottom limb, the operating mechanism, here LCC chamber, and structure and foundation. Example, here this is the top limb connected. Either let us consider this is for incoming line. This is connected to towards the line, and this one, the bottom line is connected to the, here there is a bus bars available, it is connected to the bus bars. What will happen when there is a closing command extended from the control panel? The command will come to this LCC chamber. Here there is a total mechanism available, and this mechanism will make and break this breaker, and this breaker, all three are connected to the common rod. From this one will be either it will be closed, either it will be tripped. In detail we will see further, and these are the structure and foundation. This all about the basics of circuit breaker. Let us speak about the testing of the circuit breaker. There are many testings available. Here I will speak about only the basics testings and mandatory testings we will conduct during the commissioning. And here these are the minimum testings we are conducting. The first one is insulation resistance, contact resistance, also called as a voltage drop test, breaker timing test, operational and functional checks, and others. The others includes some test, and here the what will happen, the test manufacturer to manufacturer, and depend upon the voltage level. There are some additional tests we will conduct, and the insulation, contact, and breaker test. The first three testers are a common test for the all breakers, but operational checks and functional checks will depend upon the breaker to breaker, depend upon the voltage level. The functional checks and operational checks will be different. Let us give an example. If for example 220 kV breaker, there is a pole discrepancy test, that one will not applicable for 66 kV or 11 kV breakers. Those things will come under these sections. Let us start one by one. The first one is insulation resistance test. If we consider any electrical equipment, the insulation resistance offered by the equipment is most important. That is nothing but there should not be any short circuit between the live part to the grounded part. That is nothing but face to earth. There should not be any short. And also if there is a three phase available in the same element or same equipment, there should not be a short between phase to phase. And here when we are considering about the circuit breaker mainly have the two condition. One is closed condition, one is open condition. When we are strictly speaking, when it is a open condition, across the pole the resistance should be infinity, but in practical there is a small leakage current will start flowing because of the high voltage offered by the system. So we have to check by applying high voltage 5 kV or 10 kV. If it is a more than 6.6 or 11 kV system, if it is a 415 volts breaker, we have to apply maximum 1 kV DC, and we have to measure how much resistance offered across the breaker. And also before starting we have to ensure in which temperature we are conducting the insulation resistance test. Also we have to check the healthiness of the kit and calibration of the kit. Second case is the closed condition. The closed condition is nothing but when the breaker is in on position, how much the insulation offered by that particular breaker, the strength of the insulation to withstand that voltage level. There should not be any leakage current between the live conductor to the ground. So that is nothing but pole to earth, or we can tell face to earth, and also face to face, like R face to Y face to B face. We can check the voltage level, not voltage level, insulation resistance level. So this is the first test. Why we are conducting this test first? If there is any short between any phases or any phase to earth, before proceeding any test, we have to ensure this test first. The second one is contact resistance test, also called as a voltage drop test. Let us consider when the breaker is in closed condition, ideally it has to offer zero resistance. But each breaker have its own property, it will not offer zero resistance. Impractical, there is a small resistance between the contact portions. That is nothing but there is a one fixed contact and there is a one moving contact. When this is closed condition, it will offer the minimum resistance across this contact point. So the contact resistance is nothing but the resistance offered by this contact. Also we can tell the voltage drop between this point is nothing but the contact resistance test. Why this one is very important? Let us take one breaker allowing around 100,000 ampere. So if it is there is a 1 milliohms resistance offered by this contact, then the voltage drop is nothing but 1 milliampere and 1000 ampere. I is equal to V by R, V is equal to I into R, 1000 into 1000, 1 milliohm, that is nothing but 1 volt. 1 volt drop across this point. And one more thing we can speak here, the I square R loss. And the I square R loss always will give the heat produced across this contact. So we have to be very careful. When this contact resistance is more, then this is dangerous for our day-to-day operation. And here there is a setup. This came from the Kelvin bridge. We have the source. We will flow around 100 ampere DC, and here ammeter, and here the voltmeter. Always remember, example, this is the test object. The voltage should be nearer to the test object. The current should be outside of the test object. And here I have taken one breaker. So this is the current injection from the, here we are injecting the current from the source, and we are measuring current and voltage. And across here the breaker is in closed condition, and here the voltage is inside, the current is outside, and we are taking the reading of all three phases, R phase, Y phase, B phase, how much resistance offered by this one. This is the general arrangement, and this is the contact resistance test. This is the one of the important test. Next test is nothing but timing test. As a protection engineer, always the protection engineer will think if there is any fault, the fault has to be isolated as soon as possible. But when we are considering the fault clearance time, the time is include the operating time of the relay and operating time of the breaker. This both time included for total clearing time. So what will happen, even though the relay sends the fault immediately after time delay, what we set it in protection relay, once it gives the command, so we expect the breaker has to trip as soon as possible, but it will take its own time. So to determine this time, we can calculate what is that fault clearance time offered by that particular circuit. Also for coordination purpose, this timing test is most important. And here this is the general setup. We have taken one break, we have connected top limb to the earth, bottom limb to the kit, and here we are giving the closing command to the closing coil and tripping command to the trip coil. And this is the kit will give the tripping command and closing command to the particular coils, and also it will measure the timing test. The general principle is nothing but example, when I am checking the closing timing, initially this one the breaker is in open condition. When the closing command is extended by this kit, the timer will start. Once it is receive the closing status from the breaker, then the timer will stop. That particular time it will read and it will show. Same way for tripping, the breaker is in closed condition. When it is give the tripping command, it will start, timer will start. Once the breaker status change, the timer will stop and it will read that particular time and it will give the reading. Here the maximum possibility I have taken. One is breaker close condition, how much time it will take. For open condition, how much time. In bottom three, the close open, open close, close open close. These three is mainly required for auto recloser function. Example, the breaker is in open condition. There is a fault in the circuit. If I give the close command, initially it will trip and there is a auto recloser function. Then it will give the close command. There is a open close status. Either it is a close open status. For those purpose we have taken these conditions. This is all about the operation of the timing. The next one is operational and functional checks. Here I am taken the minimum operational and functional checks, and the operational and functional checks may be increases depend upon the circuit or depend upon the scheme. And these are the minimum basics operational and functions. The first one is manual close and manual open, electrical close and electrical open. Either we can consider remote close and remote open, SCADA close and SCADA open, protection tripping. If there is any protection fault is there, if the tripping is extended, the breaker has to trip. Anti-pumping function we have to check. If there is an emergency trip, we have to extend. Either breaker is tripping or not, those things we have to check. On off indication, spring charge limit switch status. Here for auto recloser function, when I am extend the auto recloser closing command, before that I should know the spring ready status. The spring ready status only I can get from spring charge status. If there is a spring charge is okay, then only I can give the closing command. For those purpose, the spring charge limit switch I have to check. And here the CB auxiliary contacts. Each CB have the multiple of NO contact, NC contact, the open status and closed status. This status we have to taken for SCADA purpose, protection purpose, interlocking purpose. We have to check all NO, NC, either if it is in breaker close condition, either it is changing. Those things we have to verify. Auto trip indication we have to check. Trip circuit healthy we have to check. There are indications, there are status, both we have to check. These are all the functional checks. Apart from this, there are certain more functional checks also will available. Depend upon the scheme we have to check. Apart from this, here some other test we will be conducting. The first one is general inspection. General inspection is common for all. That is nothing but inspecting either any crack is available in the insulator, either any dust is available. During the transportation, either any damage, all bolt and nut is tightened properly and particular torque is applied and there is a marking. Those things will come under general inspection. And here another two, closing and tripping coil resistance, spring charge motor function. Some cases the manufacturer of closing coil and tripping coil itself will give the data sheet of the coil, and all the spring charge motor manufacturer itself will give the data sheet. We can refer those data sheet for starting current and running current and coil resistance. But in some cases, in factory and in as well as in site, we have to measure the spring charge motor functionality in starting time and closing and tripping coil resistance. And here there is one more functions I have written, interlock verification. The interlock verification is depend upon the scheme to scheme. Let us give an example. Before closing the breaker, the isolator should be closed condition or switch should be open condition. That is the one example we can tell here in this moment. Those kind of interlock we have to verify. If example 220 kV breakers, there is a 1.5 scheme or double bus bar scheme, we have to consider both isolator status. Those things will come under interlock verification. Before closing, trip circuit should be healthy. 86, that is nothing but master strip relay should not be in operated condition, and ARSU should not be closed, and those things we can check. And SF6, and locally we can tell either the breaker should be in if I want to do the remote operation, the breaker should be in the service position. Example, it is a drought breaker, and there should not be any spring charge handle inserted in the breaker. Those things will come under this interlock verification. And here another 3 tests I have shown: gas pressure switch functioning, gas or air leak testing, dew point measurement. These 3 will applicable for SF6 breakers. For dew point measurement, we can conduct by a particular instrument, and leakage test also we can conduct by leakage tester. Regarding the gas pressure switching functionality, let us take the example. SF6 gas has to be maintained particular bar in the entire compartment. Example, 6 bar has to be maintained entire compartment. If the level exceeded more than 6, like example 7 or 8, then it has to give some alarm or some status, that is nothing but the gas is over the limit. Or example, instead of maintaining 6, the level is going down 5, then it has to give the status of SF6 low. Further it is going 3 or 4 or something, then it has to give lockout. Those level functionality we have to verify from this particular SF6 breakers. And here there is a operation counter reading. Each time when we are doing the breaker, one time tripping and one time closing, there is a counter available. The integrator counter will start adding. The manufacturer will give the warranty like that. This particular breaker will used for 10,000 operation or 50,000 operation, 1 lakh operation. So for those purpose, the operation counter reading is most important. Here I taken miscellaneous test. As I told, depend upon the voltage level, there are certain tests we are adding, like 220 kV breaker will have pole discrepancy test. The pole discrepancy test is nothing but if there is any fault in one phase, other 2 phase has to be tripped. As I shown, say 66 kV breaker, there is all 3 limb operated by single mechanism, but in 220 is not like that. Individual phases, there is an individual mechanism. There is a trip coil. If there is a 2 trip coil for individual, there is a 1 particular bay, 1 breaker section, there is a total 6 trip coil. So we have to make tripping by trip coil 1 first, trip coil 2 second. Those things will come under miscellaneous. This is all about the testing activities. So this is the minimum testing requirement. Even we can conduct tan delta testing if there is a tan delta point available in the bushing, 220 kV and 400 kV, 700 plus voltage kV, 700 plus kV. So there is a tan delta point. We have to conduct tan delta test. Even high voltage test we are conducting. In factory there are certain type test we will conduct, short circuit test and some other test, and IP test we are conducting. This all will come under miscellaneous test, and this all about the testing activities. After testing, once the breaker is charged, during the long period, periodically we have to do the maintenance. Here I have taken only LT breaker maintenance. So this is the general maintenance referred by the manufacturer. So this can be changed depend upon the manufacturer. So I will recommend for maintenance always refer user manual by the manufacturer, because this one what I have taken here, this is only for example, the reference purpose. The value what I have shown here, this will be changed depending upon the manufacturer to manufacturer and depend upon the voltage level. The first one is dust insulating cover and insulating parts. So we have to do the maintenance. If there is any dust accumulated in the breaker, we have to clean. This is common for all breakers. Check the arcing contact with circuit breaker closed. Adjust if more than 1.5 mm. The value what I have taken here, this value will be changed depend upon the manufacturer. Replace the arc barrier and the spark arrestor if they are worn by more than 1 mm. Clean the surface of the main contact with fine grain emery paper and wipe carefully. What will happen during a long periodical operations, there is a carbon deposited in the contact. The carbon will offer some resistance. So as I told, the contact resistance, if the carbon is deposition is more, the contact resistance is more. If the contact resistance is more, the voltage drop will be increases. Also there is a I square R loss. So if there is a I square R loss, the heat produced by the breaker will be more. So there is a arcing effect will be coming picture. So for that one, when we are making the emery, when we are using emery paper and wiping, the carbon deposit will be vanished. And here one more thing I want to add here. If this carbon is deposition is more, always it will give the more heating effect. For this one, there is a one more test conducted for identify the I square R loss or heating effect. That is nothing but thermography test. Periodically thermography is conducted during the loading condition. If there is a 100% loading, during that one, how much resistance will offer by the breaker contacts we can measure. And here we can do the next one is cleaning by using CSI4. CSI4 is nothing but some type of chemical. And next one is all metal friction surface to be greased. The all metal friction surface to be greased. What will happen in breaker compartment when we are open? There is a spring charge motor. The motor is coupled with the gear system. When there is a spring charge taking place, there is a wear and tear will be takes place. To make the smooth operations, we have to make the greasing. And in case of rack out breaker, to do the racking and rack out, there should be a, for smooth operation, we have to make the greasing. And I forget one more point here for functional checks. For rack out type breaker, even we have to check the racking position, rack out position. During rack in the breaker operation, during rockout the breaker operation, in between the breaker operation. Example, either it is in test position, breaker has to operate, either it is in service position, breaker has to operate. In between, breaker should not be operate. And one more function, if it is in a breaker is in closed condition, in service position, ARSU should not be applied and door should not be open. Those things, the operation test will be conducted. It's depend upon the scheme to scheme. This all about the circuit breaker testing and maintenance. Thank you for watching this video. If any questions, kindly mention in comment box. I will reply as soon as early. Thank you very much.